you do have specific questions that require a response, or if we're unable to hear from everyone wishing to speak this evening, please feel free to email the school board. We currently have 3 individuals signed up to speak to the board. We have a total of 20 minutes for our listening session, which will conclude at 6:20. When your name is called and it's your turn to speak, please come forward. Or if you're online, the moderator will unmute you. You'll have 2 minutes to address the board. Out of courtesy to our fellow committee members, we ask that you adhere to the 2-minute rule. If there's additional time remaining and you'd like to address the board, please raise your hand either here in person or on Zoom, and again, you'll be called on. Please begin by stating your full name and your connection to the district, for example, if you have a student attending. We also ask that you refrain from sharing any private personnel or student data. For additional guidance on this requirement, please see policy 206, public input to the school board and private data privacy consideration. Again, thank you for being here. Let's see, I will start with the first person who signed up is Michael Dean. Is Michael Dean here? All right, we can check in a little bit later. Rosalind Chow.
Hi, thank you.
Hi.
Should I stand or sit or?
You are welcome to sit. Okay. Or stand, whatever is best.
Okay, thank you. I'll try to keep this brief. I am not a parent who tends to come to these meetings. I am an educator myself. I work in a university setting, so I understand that educators need some liberty and freedom to design a curriculum that's, going to work for them and the style that they teach. At the same time, what brings me here today is that I have some concerns and just would like the chance to bring it to the board. My daughter came home last week and she's in 11th grade. I also have a 7th grader as well. My daughter in 11th grade is excited about going to 12th grade, planning out what colleges she's going to apply to. And she found out, I think on the Friday, that AP Bio was no longer going to be offered this year, and that had been moved to every other year. She did not know that this year. She's in 11th grade. That wasn't something she was aware of. She did not sign up for it this year. She had a full schedule of lots of other APs, just not AP Bio. She can't take it then. So now she's looking at CIS options. That takes her off campus. She has to get a car. We're trying to figure out how that's going to work. And then on top of that, she's a science-oriented person. She's enthusiastic. She wants to be pre-med. And she can't get AP chemistry. She can't get AP physics. And it does make me wonder as a parent what we're preparing students for if they can't be college ready. So I'm sorry for my voice. I feel very passionate about this. I personally love the arts. I went through art all the way through high school. I coach a lot. I love these classes, but I do have to wonder why we have 16 arts classes and 4 culinary classes and no AP science. So are we really preparing students for the future education and careers that they need? I sat back and watched, I'll stop, but that's it. I have a 7th grader who also is keen on science, and we're worried. We're worried. So that's it. Thank you.
Mark Walker.
All right. Hi, my name is Mark Walker. I graduated from St. Anthony High School in 1977. My wife in 78, and my kids all went here and graduated in the early 2000s. I really care about this community and about what's happening at the schools. And I've been to meetings quite often. It's been a while since I've been back, and I'm really very appreciative of everybody that takes time to serve on the school board. It's a big job and a big commitment, and I do appreciate it. I want to talk a little bit about what I saw here in the annual report. Just looking at what appears to be, and this is from the outside, I don't see the internal, what are the actual goals, but we have effective instruction, dignity, and belonging as the 3 major areas, and I really feel like we're missing the boat if we're not placing academic excellence at the very top of our goal list. And it's a, effective instruction was a program that had been worked on for at least a few years since I've been attending. I think its goal was to try and deliver more of an equity of outcome. It was a program that had been worked on for a long time. I think it was very poorly conceived and poorly executed. The teachers really did not like it. It caused a lot of trouble, and we can see that a couple pages later, that half the teachers say they'll be back in 2 years or still be here in 2 years. And so I just really think that, looking here under the effective instruction, it says the first goal is academic excellence, and I really think that's a far stretch to what the actual goal of this was. And anybody that looked at the handbook for effective instruction, it was totally unclear what the goals were, and certainly never defined in a way that could be measured or even understood.
Mr. Walker, let me just move on. We'll see if our next we have the 2 minutes.
Okay, I already went 2 minutes, oh my God.
You did, but you know
All
what?
right.
If we have time at the end.
Thank you.
You are welcome to
That's fine.
to
Thank
talk
you.
more.
All
Okay.
right.
Let's see, we had Michael Dean sign up. Is he here with us? Okay, no Michael Dean. Would anyone else here or online? And we have no one raising their hand online.
We are signed up. My name is Dr. B.B. Neiman. We are the St. Anthony New Brighton Welcoming All Families Association. We also provided written comments that we asked to be distributed to the board that echo a lot of, pretty much everything that has been said by the 2 predecessors. So I would respectfully ask for time to also speak.
Absolutely. I'm not sure what happened. It's just not on our list.
You have a lot.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
It's
I'm sorry,
understandable.
it was Dr. Newman?
Dr. B.B. Newman, yes.
Dr. B.B. Newman, you're welcome to come on forward.
Thank you.
Or you can sit there, whatever works.
This chair is more comfortable. I would prefer to stand, but.
Sure.
Is there a podium? So, good evening, Chair Palmer and members of the board. My name is Dr. B.B. Newman, and I'm speaking on behalf of the St. Anthony New Brighton Welcoming All Families Association. We have submitted written comments for inclusion in the public record, and I will briefly summarize several key points. Tonight's agenda includes decisions that are structurally significant for the district. You are reviewing a proposed principal master agreement reflecting a 13.5% 3-year total package increase. You are also preparing for 6 to 7 probationary non-renewals and 5 teachers placed on unrequested leave of absence. When compensation increases and staffing reductions are considered within the same meeting cycle, it underscores the importance of clearly communicating the fiscal and enrollment assumptions driving both decisions. The Community Services Report reflects a 2.033.167 revenue structure. So that's over $2 million, okay? With 80% supported by user fees and 8% by levy. The budget model outlines 4 major funding components that determine how staffing and programming are allocated district-wide. The Costa Rica field trip proposal involves 31 students at $3,800 per student, a meaningful opportunity that also raises questions about equity and accessibility. Across the principal search engagement process, stakeholders consistently identified visibility, transparency, fairness, instructional credibility, and long-term commitment as core expectations. We respectfully ask that finalist evaluation and first-year benchmarks be clearly aligned with those publicly articulated standards. And I'll wrap up. Regarding policy 515, student data privacy protections under FERPA and the Minnesota Government Data Practices Act require precision and proactive communication so families understand their rights. For families following tonight's meeting, this is not a routine agenda. Compensation structures, staffing levels, enrollment targets, governance transitions, and data privacy policy are all being addressed simultaneously. That makes clarity essential. Families do not expect perfection. They expect steadiness, transparency, and alignment between stated values and structural decisions. Thank you for your service and for the opportunity to provide input.
Thank you. All right, anyone, so Michael Dean has not arrived. Okay, no one online, anyone else wishing to speak to the board? Otherwise, Mr. Walker, if you have more to.
I have just a couple more things, thank you very much. So I talked about effective instruction, and how I really don't believe that there's a goal here of academic excellence within that. The other two are dignity and belonging. These are nebulous terms, really hard to define, really hard to measure. Using here a survey to measure dignity and then hours of service to measure belonging. And I don't have anything against these, I just think they should be far below academic excellence as a goal for our schools. And it's I really feel like we need as a board here to turn away from teaching kids that they are defined by their skin color. I don't believe that's true. Turn away from teaching kids that it's normal to question your gender and your sexual preferences. Turn away from teaching kids to be afraid of a virus and to be afraid of federal law enforcement. And turn away from hiring practices that focus more on checking dignity boxes than on merit. I'm really hoping and praying that the board will come together, a lot of new members here, and that will really work to put academic excellence as the highest priority for our schools. Thank you.
Thank you. Nadine Kane.
My name is Nadine King. I do not have a student at the high school because I disenrolled her after my total disappointment at the teachers who came to the school board and said my child's excellence or success is not their problem and she's hard to teach. My son will follow next year because that's unacceptable. Academic excellence, AP classes, I expect you to get yourself together on treating our children with special needs and or any access to education. I think it's lovely when you think of these interesting ideas. I had been tracking the trip to Costa Rica. That's a nice plan, but I really think that teachers need to teach. I think that you need to balance the budget. And I'm not as tied to AP Bio. I would have a great conversation with you about like AP versus CIS versus other things, but you gotta teach. And presently, I'm not convinced, which is why my children are on, my one child's on the way out, my other child is full stop out of this district, which I'm just gonna point out, I graduated here. I don't know what golden age you think you're talking about. I don't know who you think you're talking to. But I will tell you that many of your parents whose kids have any kind of giftedness, both my kids have very high IQs, both my kids have dyslexia and ADHD, and the middle school took good care of them. The high school is a joke, unacceptable. I have just a few teachers who even bothered to try. The staff, Mr. Bell is who said, my daughter says help save her life. Mr. Rubel. Other staff told her that she wasn't working hard enough to achieve enough, well, people weren't teaching her. So, great, smaller class sizes, show me your budget. Work outside of the box, work a little harder. That's what we've been doing. We've been doing this for a long time. We've thought of everything we can to be financially solvent in an incredibly difficult financial era. More taxes, they're coming. But if you come out and ask us for more money, you lost my kids' ADMs. That's for the money that you get when your child enrolls in school. My kids are not here. If you want me to vote to raise taxes on my house, you're gonna have to show me that you're teaching all the kids. And 3 of our board members could not follow Minnesota state statute about how you file to run for office. So please, attention to detail. It's embarrassing. Dr. Palmer, I'll give it back to you.
Anyone else?
Could I just fill up the last minute just to?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I just want to say, I fully respect how hard this job is for everyone. It's difficult. Kids are distracted, classrooms are noisy, but when I repeatedly hear stories about how my middle schooler can't concentrate in school because all the kids are doing all sorts of stuff, right? It's really loud in there, and my daughter doesn't have classes that she needs to succeed in college and apply to the colleges that she wants, and now we're looking at summer school and online school to figure out how to get her those credits. I worry about the rigor that is being offered to the children. They have to have these opportunities to explore them, to know what their options are, and I agree, we need to get back to making sure that academic excellence is at the top, and that we offer them the opportunities to really succeed and explore and grow, not just the ones that they think are fun. I'd like to see more of a steady push, communication and directive in that direction, because we're really worried. And we're not sure what we're gonna do with our middle schooler. We've got another year in middle school to figure that out and hope that things change direction. Otherwise, we might disenroll him as well, and we're hoping not to go there. We love this community, it's been wonderful. We love the small school. We know that brings limitations with the number of courses that you can offer. We just hope you'll think really carefully about what we choose to offer, how we communicate it. My daughter started planning her high school curriculum from ninth grade, but all went out the window when she found out last Friday that that wasn't being offered. So, we'd accepted, okay, she doesn't have AP chemistry and AP physics, could we accept these limitations, but just to get rug pulled out from under her, it's really hard to readjust and figure out next steps. It caused a little bit of a panic and just disappointment. So I know we can do better as a district, and it sounds like there's a lot of interest among parents here for that, so I really hope we can all reframe our direction and head that way. I think we have a lot of belonging already. I'd love to see more rigor.
I said the opposite.
Oh.
I'm sorry, just in case that wasn't clear. I said my children don't belong, and they were not taught adequately.
Oh.
Sorry. And that I removed them because of that. And I don't think you have, I'm not gonna out anyone, but people whose families receive special education typically don't have energy and time to come to meetings and listening sessions. And so you may not hear from them because they spent all day trying to work IEPs, work problem solving. I had to go down to the school today, pick up one, bring them back, try to work through all of that, and the staff were great. And I said the opposite. Sorry, just to be clear about that, but I do think that it would help if the high school teachers uniformly believe my children were worth teaching. And that's not the message that we got.
The message we heard from a counselor at high school was, none of our kids have ever gone to Ivy League, so, because some kids said, I need these courses to get to my Ivy League school. None of our students have ever gone to Ivy League, was the answer that she overheard, so.
It's 6:20 now, so our listening session is gonna end. We're gonna take 10 minutes, and we're starting our regular meeting at 6:30.
Chair Palmer, if I may, I'd like to speak in my individual capacity as a parent here, because a lot of what has been said by these parents has resonated. And I know that a lot of you don't know, who I am, but I've been here in the school district for over 30 years. So I would like to just speak to that briefly, please, if you would allow that.
We're gonna have to, no, I'd say please come back to our next listening session. You're welcome to write to the board, but I don't want to set a precedent. We're gonna take our 10 minutes and we'll put up the dates. Thank you.
Thank you.
I could get here, but I didn't. Tell me what you're feeling now and included. Okay.
This is my husband, Carl.
Hi, nice to meet you.
And Howell is also part of this.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a special ed.
And a book, yeah.
Yep. To get it 10 years later.
I think some of these chairs are taken. We usually are in the opposite.
Oh, do you want to switch?
It's fine. Either way.
No, you are just fine. You are just fine. I think you can sit in this one then, and then I'll
Okay.
sit here.
Back to.
I love that she pulled a Wendy because everybody saw it. So,
It's funny they hang the flag over the city thing. I want to put my
separation of state.
school and state.
Yeah, separation of school and state. She looks stressed.